Hello everyone, welcome to Placement Buddies. So today we have Mr. Sayan Paul with us. He is placed at CGI. So he will share his interview experience with us. So welcome Sayan, welcome to Placement Buddies.
Thank you, Apurba. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah,
Initially, I wanted to say something that the Placement Buddies YouTube channel has helped a lot for us budding aspirants for placements who are sitting in placements
yeah,
for the last 1 year, and it has helped a lot. The interview experiences shared by the seniors has also given us a lot of insight on how the company works and how the interviews go in the process. It has given us a real time experience. So thank you for coming up with this idea. I'm sure I'm sure you'd be going. I am sure I wish all the best in your journey.
thank you Sayan, and I'm very glad that we could help you. So Sayan, before starting the session, if you could tell something about yourself to our audience.
Sure. So hello everyone. My name is Sayan Paul. I am from Tripura, and I am currently passed out from graduated from NI National Institute of Technology, Agartala. I have been pursuing electrical engineering, and now I am placed in CGI Informatics as a software engineer. I am currently working at the role of C Sharp developer.
Okay,
So that's about it. Thank you.
okay, okay. And when did CGI visited your campus?
CGI visited our campus on October 28th.
Okay,
We got the first mail for CGI. Uh, so after our resumes were being uploaded, we were asked to sit for a online test.
okay,
So the test was fairly simple. This test was conducted on the AMCAT platform.
mm-hmm.
In the AMCAT platform, there were fairly objective type questions, and there were two very, I would say, mid-level basic coding questions.
Okay,
So
okay.
that's about the first
That's our
initial online test.
online test. Okay, and what was the eligibility criteria?
So the eligibility criteria for us was the circuital branch as well as the non-circuital branches were allowed to sit for the exam, provided you
Mm-hmm.
have 60% in your 10th and
Mm-hmm.
your 12th, and 65% in your BTech
BTech.
curriculum.
Okay. Okay. So, and how the selection process goes, like the first online test, then technical, then HR, like technical and HR round were different or in one round. So, tell us something about that.
No, they were two separate technical. I'll tell about the rounds, but first let me tell about the online test.
Okay.
After the commencement of the online tests, we were given the names of people who have cleared the online test.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, we were asked to sit for the interviews. The interview was it consists of two rounds. So initially, the technical round was conducted, and I was being asked questions about my resume.
Mm.
So before I step further into this, I need to mention that your resume is very important.
Mm.
You need to be very sure about how what you write in your resume, because as much as your resume speaks about you, it also dictates the flow of your interview,
Yeah.
the conversation that you are going to have with your interviewer. Uh, so my resume was pretty short, and I wrote whatever I knew.
Yeah.
So
And
he asked me
I
about
just
my
want
project.
to, I just wanted to add one thing. Like from my experience, you can mold the whole interview in your way according to your resume. So yeah,
Definitely,
from that aspect, resume is very important. So yeah,
resume
continue.
is very important. So as far as my resume goes, I had two projects, both of them being IT projects. So
Mm-hmm.
he started questioning me about my projects first. So my projects were clearly based on Python. So he asked me, he cross-questioned me on my projects as well. So I
Mm-hmm.
had to answer a lot of it. At least 10 minutes of the interview round was only based on my projects. So he clearly asked me that, well, why did you do this? What were the problems that you faced during this? How did you overcome this project? So I had to answer those questions clearly. So after my projects went away, he asked me about my skills. So I had listed OOPS and data structures as my skills. So he asked me very basic questions on OOPS about what are the basic criteria, sorry, characteristics of OOPS,
Mm-hmm.
difference between objects and class, what is objects, the four pillars of OOPS, etc., etc. Very basic questions, but very important questions, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about the technical round. And then he asked me some questions about how do you think if CGI selects you today, do you think after the training and process would you stay in CGI? These were very basic managerial questions, but tricky. They were tricky.
Okay.
Some basic managerial questions were asked, so I had to do. So my in technical round lasted for around 45 minutes. And
Okay.
then after about half an hour, I get a call that my technical round is cleared. And I have to sit for the HR round at around 3 p.m. Okay. So up until that point, my technical round was done, and then comes the HR round. So at the HR round, I had some difficulties because the HR round was not like the conventional HR rounds. It was a bit different. So he actually gave me questions on real life problems. Like there were four combinations of a lock, and there was only one answer. So there were four-digit pin, and they used to they said ask questions like two digits are in the same place but wrong. Two digits are wrong but in the correct place. That way, I had to find out the combination of a lock. I was unable to do that, to be honest. And then he gave me a question about a spider goes up around 4 meters, climbs a tree 4 meters, and then comes down by 2 meters. How
Mm-hmm.
much does it time does it take to um, climb a tree of 10 meter around or
Mm-hmm.
something? So that was a easy question. I did it, and then another question was for a tennis in a tennis match. It is a knockout match. There are
Mm-hmm.
32 players. How many
Mm-hmm.
matches does it require to determine the winner? So it's
Okay.
fairly easy. 32
Mm-hmm.
minus 1, it's
Mm-hmm.
31 matches. So these were the questions, and then he asked me some basic HR questions that are normally there. So these were about the interviews, and then after around a week, I get a message on my WhatsApp saying these are the students that are selected for CGI. So my name was there.
Okay. So I think there's a catch. Like after you getting selected for CGI, after that there is a pre-onboarding training which you have to clear, and if you are unable to clear that, I guess your selection has been cancelled.
So initially, in my pre-placement talk, we were been told that before joining CGI, we would be given a future talent training program.
Mm-hmm.
So that future talent training program was such that we had a 3 week long course, at least for 15 days,
Mm-hmm.
from from 9 a.m. in the morning to 6 p.m. in the evening. We had to do that mandatory training, and after the training, there would be an assessment. So according to I think random basis, we were divided into two groups, one for Java and the other for C#.NET. I
From your
was in
college.
the
From your college.
from my college as well as other. There were at least 600 people in that
Okay.
wave
Okay.
from
Okay.
all
All
over
over the
all
India.
over India. Wherever, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we were put into either C# or Java.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my training was on C#, so
Mm-hmm.
I had to complete 15 days of training. After that, there was a pre-onboarding training. I think the training started on March 4th
Mm-hmm.
and ended on somewhere around the last week of April.
Okay.
And then my assessment was on May 1st.
Okay.
Okay. So the assessment was such that before sitting in the assessment, we had to make sure we had 70% in all in my attendance,
Mm.
in my assignment.
Mm-hmm.
During the training, we had to complete assignments. 70% of my assignments have to be completed.
Mm.
Only then we would be able to sit uh, for the assessment.
Mm.
Now, in the assessment, the format was such that 40 questions would be MCQ.
Okay.
Now, the MCQs were not all 1 marks or 2 marks. It was mixed. It was 1 mark, some questions of 1 or 2 marks. Now,
Mm-hmm.
the MCQs sectionally have to be 70% completed. You
Completed.
have to score at least 70%.
Okay.
And in the coding section, there were two questions of 100 marks. You have to score 70%. Now, the coding assessment is done on the basis of how many test cases you pass. You have to pass at least 70% of the test cases. That is how the um, so I had completed that assessment as well. It was done, and then we were all given a confirmation mail.
Mm-hmm.
You have successfully completed the assessment.
Mm-hmm.
CGI will contact you shortly.
Okay.
So after around 6 or 7 days, we got our letter of intent. So that was our letter of intent, and then after around that time, our final exams were going on, a grand viva, project submission, etc. So in the
Mm-hmm.
month of May, these were done, and we had the entire month of May for our college purposes. There was no onboarding training or nothing. In June, I think June 1st, we got an email that there will be an induction program, and your joining would be on 6th June. We
Okay.
were given our location, base location,
And that time only you
everything
did,
was,
yeah, and that time only you got your offer letter.
yeah, that was the time we got our offer letter, around June 1st or something.
Okay. Okay.
So after that, now comes the time for document submission and all that. And before I say anything, I should mention that if you're going for any MNC,
Mm-hmm.
remember that your passport is must. You
Mm.
have to have a passport. So if anyone is looking for a job outside, I should
Mm.
suggest them to apply for their passports.
Yeah.
So that being said, my passport and all the other documents that were required, we had to submit it to it. And also, I think I forgot to mention that during our time, CGI had a bond for 2 years.
Okay.
For the role of a software engineer, we had a bond for 2 years, and bond reaching amount would be somewhere around 100K, 1
Okay.
lakh.
Okay. That's what I was about to ask. Like, since CGI is giving training and all, they are investing on you. So in return, obviously, they would want something. So that's
Yes,
what I wanted to
this
ask.
was
Yeah.
also one of the questions that the interviewer asked me in the technical round.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to join CGI for a long period of time, or are you here for? Do you have any plans for higher studies or something? Because CGI is going to invest in you a lot. That is one of the questions that I had initially.
No, you may have your plans, but you should not be that honest in interview, from my point of view.
Precisely. Yes.
So yeah. So after that, how's your training now? Nowadays, how is your training going on?
Since the time I joined on 6th June,
Okay.
we had 3 days of induction or something,
Okay. Okay.
and then from 9th we are having the core training.
Okay.
So I am assigned as the C sharp developer.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
so we
On
are
that
being training on
topic, your training is going on.
yeah, training is going on back end, and
Okay.
now the we are doing front end development, HTML, CSS,
Okay.
JavaScript. We are being given training on that. So the
Nice.
training
Nice.
will be the tentative date is given on the first week of September.
Okay.
That is all.
So, Shayan, as you mentioned, that CGI came to your campus around October, right?
Last week of
So
October.
last week of October. So when did you start your preparation, for the placement session, and what you would suggest for your juniors? What the subject they should prepare and how they should prepare, like for competitive coding and the theoretical subjects also.
So before starting that answer, I would like to say that I am from a electrical background.
Okay.
So, so even my coding was not that strong until June of last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I started my placement preparation properly from around July time,
Mm-hmm.
that time. So for anyone who is starting their preparation at this point in time, it's already July 3 today.
Mm.
So I would suggest firstly you should develop your skills and then make your resume according to it, not the other way around.
Yeah.
It's not how you write a resume and then according to what looks cool and then you start developing your skills around it. That is the wrong process
Yeah.
to follow. If firstly you should fix yourself on what programming language you're doing. That is very important. Like if you're
Mm-hmm.
doing on Python, you should do all of it on Python only. So first, first decide on your programming language, and then start doing DSA. It's very
Okay.
important that DSA is being asked in 4 out of 5 companies placements,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
interviews. That is
Okay.
very important. I
Yeah.
think DSA should be given very much utmost importance, and more
Mm-hmm.
importance should be given on your resume building. The projects that you have done should be prepared religiously and thoroughly. I think my projects helped me get this job, to be very honest.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was given at least 10 to 15 minutes time only for my projects,
Mm-hmm.
how I have done this and all that. And secondly, you need to sit for every if you are sitting for an IT interview, you need to take up every interview that you take. It's not like every rejection that you face,
Yeah.
you either win or you learn.
Yeah. Nice.
That is something I have learned along the way. So don't take rejections like a failure. Take them like a teaching.
Yeah. A learning
Take them
process.
like a lesson. It is a learning process. And yes, after all of it is done, you'll feel very happy about whatever you have achieved.
Yeah, obviously, and congratulations to you for getting placed at CGI. And Shahid, before ending the session, any tips, any pro tips you want to give your juniors or the viewers?
I think, like I said, it is a process.
Yeah.
To be very honest, it is not a uh, day night process. Like you won't do it. It doesn't happen overnight. You
Mm-hmm.
have to work for it. You have to build a resume. You have to build your skills properly, and then at some point, if you're lucky enough, it
Mm-hmm.
also luck plays a very important role in interviews, as we have all known. So just keep focusing on the process. Eventually, it is going to be better for everyone. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, thank you, Shahid. Thank you for coming to our channel and thank you for giving your time. Hope you have a
Thank
great
you for
future
having
ahead.
me. Thank you. Thank you so much.